Hi there. In this video we're going to look at 3D scanning a lantern, even though we use it as a vase at home. So we're going to use a small part guided workflow, and we're going to hit next. And we can choose the resolution, acquire texture, and we now have this new feature called Smart Resolution, which we'll talk about shortly. So if you need to do a calibration, you can do so, otherwise you can hit next if you've already done it. And the next step is we are going to capture the targets on the table or the turntable. And it just gives you a few little tips before you start scanning. So you need to tap the button on the side of the Go Scan Spark to collect the targets. So it's a very fast process, and it's just to assist with creating a clipping plane. So we can hit stop and then create clipping plane. It then launches straight into scanning mode, and we can then start scanning the lantern. So now you can see this golden color. So that is the new smart resolution. So once we've collected enough information in that area, we can then use the hybrid approach of low res and high res. So let's say in the middle section you might not need as much resolution, so you'll be quite happy to leave it golden, but on maybe the edges you want to take a bit more time and ensure that there's no gold left to ensure that you've got the highest resolution for your settings. So Smart Res is just a very new approach to 3D scanning. It just means that you don't have to scan this object in two separate scans and then try and merge the two together at different resolutions. It's just a hybrid approach. Low res, high res, all in the one scan. And the great thing about Creaform scanners is that you only ever get a single surface mesh. So we can wave over top of it over and over again, and we'll only have one surface. You can also see that there's these lines on the part. These are the 99 white lines that get projected onto what you're scanning. And if you're at the right distance, you'll see green if you're too close or too far. Too close is red, too far is blue. So you're obviously looking for the green zone. And I'm just using the turntable to just spin my object around so I can stay static, and then just spend the time ensuring that I've got enough resolution on the areas of interest. So, some of the applications you could use this for is heritage and preservation. You could just use it for e-commerce. You could use it for just visualization, sharing what something looks like in 3D. Archiving, if you just want to archive what you have just in case it gets broken. Or obviously reverse engineering is a very important application. So we're just going through and making sure that we've scanned all the right areas. So obviously with any scanner, line of sight is going to be a bit of a challenge, so getting into this part is going to be quite tricky, but for visualization purposes it's all we need. So the next step is I'm just actually moving the handle so you can see a part of it up, but what that allows me to do is I can just scan underneath of it and just capture the data below the rope handle. So I'm actually collecting that data below it, and you can see again the rope up. So I'll stop the scan on that first scan and get a selection tool called what's called the connect tool. Click on what I want to keep, and you can see that other rope hanging above is not going to get connected to it. So I'm going to reverse the selection and delete that. And now I can hit next on my scan button down on the bottom right corner, next on the workflow, and we're going to create a new scan. Okay, so once I've done that, I can now start the second scan, and I've just turned the lantern upside down so that I can collect the bottom of it. Okay, and then just start scanning again. So once we've finished collecting all of the data, we need to ensure that we align the two scans together well. Since it's quite a symmetrical object, it may be a little bit challenging, but we'll give it a go. So again, I'm just making sure that I've collected the lantern from every angle. I might be collecting the rope, but the goal is I'm just going to carefully not scan too much in that area, because I don't want it to connect too much to the actual main body of the lantern. So it's only been about 6.5 minutes so far of capturing the data. To 3D model this object, I would not know how long that would take. An artist, even a skilled artist, would be a very time-consuming process. And if it's an artifact, then obviously this is almost the only way to recreate these sorts of things. So now if I press stop, I get some selection tools again. I can grab a tool called the lasso tool. Make sure select through is on, because I want to ensure that I select the triangles through. And I'm just going to take away some of these things, some of this area here, because I know that I've already captured it from different angles. So we'll just delete that out, or select it first. And you can see my hand there on the turntable getting collected. Okay, nice little bit to get, and just a little bit on the ring. You can see it's still yellow, so I didn't get very high res in that area, but that's fine. I would have captured it from a different angle. So I can delete what I have selected now, leaving just the lantern. Hit next, and now I can either add another scan or I can merge what I have. So I'm going to try best fit just to see if it recognizes it, the shape, but you can see it kind of did, so it's similar, but it's obviously from the wrong direction. So we'll refuse that best fit, and then we're going to try and align it using just some common points that I click onto the actual surface with. So it's hard because everything's kind of the same. So we'll just try and find something that we can use that's common. And I think, yeah, this side looks a bit more common. You're just going to see the point where I think's common shortly. Yeah, so I'm going to use this point up here and just click my first point, and you only need 3 or 4 points, common points, and it just needs to be somewhat close enough, and then it's good. So I chose a third point, but it isn't on the other scan, so I'm going to have to try and find a different point that I can use. So I'm going to use my third point there and try and click my third point there, but actually that says number 4, so I need to go back and just delete number 3 and then add number 4 again. There we go. Just check that out. I may have just got selected through by accident, or chose the wrong point. Yeah, I've chosen the wrong point, so I just need to make sure I get number 3 onto the right point. There we go. And it just needs to be somewhat close, and then you can best fit, and it will align perfectly. So when I'm happy with that, I can then select Next on the workflow. It's just now merging the scans together. And it gives you a very, very detailed preview of how the results turned out. So you can zoom in and have a look. And this isn't even the finalized version yet. This is just a good preview to see if you're happy with the results. And now when you click Next, it's going to go through and finalize the results. So once the finalization has been completed, we can then export a mesh, give it a name, and just save that out. And once the mesh is saved, we can then exit the workflow and just have a look at the mesh in more detail. So you can see quite clearly that there's a lot of detail there. If I go to triangles and wireframe under display, it's kept very small triangles with the new smart res. So obviously needed them to show the details that we needed. So yeah, the texture resolution is very good as well. You can clearly read the message on the bottom. So thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more, please feel free to contact us or visit our website. Thanks again.